I brought a present for this story.
I don't like your presents.
I love it. It'll get us into the mood.
What?
Yes. We have to talk
Do I really have to put this on?
We have to talk about aliens. How can you talk about aliens without making sure that they can't get in your head, okay?
Oh, no. All right. I'll play along. Plus, I've always wanted to know what it was like to wear a tinfoil hat. Oh, gosh. Why is yours so long?
Because I have a bigger brain.
You had to make yours bigger than mine?
I have a bigger brain.
You have a bigger ego, not a bigger brain. My head's bigger than yours. You got a tiny head, pea head.
This is gonna pop into the news ticker. All right, so the SETI Institute, okay, and this is insane, and I have no idea. Like, this is a total speculation story, and in order to speculate about aliens, we got to make sure our brains are protected, because I feel like if we start getting on like the right ideas or what it could possibly be, the aliens will like send something down and zap our brains into not letting us think about the truth, okay?
What if this just intensifies their mind control and we've been lied to?
I hope not.
Like an antenna, and then it creates more
makes it way worse. Yeah, absolutely. So through the SETI Institute, so they just created a new laser optical system. So this is what's going on. So what they've been looking for in the night skies for decades is radio signals, okay? And we've always assumed that if aliens were going to reach out to us, they was going to be through a radio signal. Well, since we've evolved, since things have changed, since we realized that we can send, 1.5 million per units of data more on light than we can through radio waves, they are now thinking that if an alien is going to reach out to us, they're going to reach out to us through light. So they have this new kind of telescope sky monitoring system where they can watch and observe the skies 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all the hemispheres for these little changes in light. So whether it's an intentional change in light that they're sending to us to let us know that, hey, this is a message for you, or it could be a change in light caused by a spaceship. It could be from a star. Apparently, like once every 6 seconds or something, they get a light response from the universe, but it's normally done in repetitive fashion, and it's usually like a dying star or a specific star that's done in a repetitive motion. Like this star in this galaxy or this star in the Milky Way galaxy is shooting off this or that once every 6 seconds. Well, this is also way, way, way cheaper. They've had this technology out for like 3, 4, 5 years, but COVID put this on the back burner. They have built 2 units so far. They're going to have one in Maui, and they're going to have one in the first will be California at the Ferguson Observatory in Sonoma County. Okay. So this is way cheaper than like a normal telescope, and so they're gonna and these laser instruments. So they call it Laser SETI is a project instrument and set observatory designed to scan the all the sky all the time for extrasolar laser pulses. It's an optical SETI survey. So when we were going through recording, we just noticed we had some audio issues. So we figured it would be better to just record this piece again And I don't know. I honestly think it was the aliens that we were talking about. It's a good thing I had this hat on. Otherwise, I probably would have been abducted. They would have took me.
What makes you special? The aliens totally would have took me.
No, they liked the hat. So, where we left off, we were kind of going over the observatory SETI laser project instrument. So, basically, the plan with this instrument is for them to put them around the world. They're going to be able to cover all of the night sky, so 360 degrees around the world. And they're going to be looking for light that transmits down onto these or into these, because light actually holds a lot more data in it than radio waves do. And what's the internet? The
Fiber optics?
Fiber optics, yeah, that
Yep.
uses light data similar to this fashion, okay? So you can do like 1.5 million, or I'm sorry, 500,000 times more data per second with these new laser scanners.
That's wild.
It is. It's really cool. It's really cool. But, you know, it makes me wonder what made them start looking for this. You know what I mean? It makes me wonder if something came up, because obviously the government's been talking a lot about aliens lately, and the Defense Department has said multiple times that they're not willing to rule out aliens, that they have tons of footage of aliens. And I mean, I can post a couple here, but it literally just can't be explained. They have no idea what is going on. So it's kind of weird to me that they just all of a sudden transition from radio wave frequency sensors to laser. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a bit odd. Maybe they just realized, like, the capabilities are so much better and, like, there's so much more information and it's so much faster that it would only make sense
That
for, like, a more advanced species to be using something other than radio waves.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. But my hat says different. So, I think they're on to something. I think that the government is hiding everything. They wake up every day and all they want to do is conspire against us and do all kinds of shady stuff under the table.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So, okay, when you think about technology like this, like, don't you expect it to be super expensive?
Yeah.
Well, they can cover the entire world with these sensors for $5 million. Yeah. So I'm sure
Whoa.
that has a lot to do with it too, because I think each one of these units is like $540,000. So around about, they assume that if they place 10 units, right, around the world, they'll be able to cover 360 degrees of the Earth at all times. So they'll have one in California, they'll have one in Maui, they're looking at Puerto Rico, Canary Islands, Chile, India, and a few other places. So the plan is to build this network out, their Discovery network, and they're not going to do away with the radio wave sensors either. They've actually built...
That was going to be my next question.
Yeah.
Is if they're going to use both or if they were doing away with the radio.
No, they are going to use both. They actually have these new satellite dishes that pick up radio wave frequency like at all times. So I think before there were either recordings or they had to be placed at a specific area, like pointed in a specific area in the universe for them to pick them up. And with these new sensors, they're a lot more broad, so they're going to cover a greater area and more sensitivity, so they're going to be able to pick up something, I assume, from further away. You know what I mean? To be honest, there wasn't a whole bunch of information on this. For the most part, what I was reading about this is kind of just the breakdown of how the machine works. And honestly, like when you look at a picture of the machine, it looks like something 3D printed or something that you could make out of your garage. You know, it doesn't look like this fantastical, crazy thing, you know, that you would expect to see at an observatory.
No, I don't think it does either. It looks very basic.
Like
almost.
PVC tubing, some 3D printed pieces at the top. You can tell that's 3D printed. You can literally see the lines in that from the 3D printing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I thought it was really cool. I thought that I love science. I like learning about this stuff. And I am a believer in aliens. I'm not a believer in conspiracy theories that aliens are working with the government or any of that whole thing, or the world is ran by what's that lizard species called?
Reptilians.
Yeah. The world's
David
ran
Icke.
by reptilians. But science is awesome, man. And I feel like if there's anything for people to get invested in nowadays, with like a lot of the hate and issues that we have in our society, it should be something like science, you know?
Absolutely.
And what's more cool than the stars in space?
Because we were rewatching a little bit of The Mandalorian the other day, and you asked, and you're like, you think in a society like this, like, or planets like this, they're worried about gender?
Yeah. No. That's a good call out. And see, I
said no, definitely not. It's not even on their mind at all.
Since we had to reshoot this, I don't have all my notes up that I originally did. I figured we could just kind of vibe off it and insert this. But yeah, I 100% believe that we're getting hung up on all these stupid ideas. Like, it makes me wonder, right? Because I feel like the politicians that are leading our country want us focusing on these things. And I do feel like it's almost like a false flag topic with trans issues, because they're like, hey, what group of people, which is the smallest people out of society, can we focus on to, pull a magic trick and be like, hey, look over here, everybody, while we're doing this over here, you know? Mm-hmm. Maybe, like, okay, going full conspiracy theory, what if they had some kind of an agreement with aliens and only a certain amount of people were able to go? You know what I mean? So they're like, oh, I guess we gotta keep all these people busy somehow with these ridiculous ideas.
Like, what, the world's about to end, and, like, there's, like, a subset of people who are going to be going off with aliens?
Maybe. You know how many different theories I've seen out there? Like, there's this extra planet that's an Earth-like planet that has those aliens, what are they called, the Anakari or something like that? On it, and it passes by Earth, like, once every 5,000 years or something like that, because of its, rotation around the sun is like so much different than Earth that it goes way out and then comes way in, so their seasons are longer and everything like that. I've also heard that we're on course for that comet, the 2023 WD or WD 2023, where we did that video of it here, and that could end the Earth. Like, there's so many different things that could end the Earth that it makes you wonder, you know? Why are we so caught up on the social issues? Like, why do we even have to have an episode where it's all full of LGBTQ issues?
Yeah.
It's absurd. It's so ridiculous, you know? When you're trying to travel the universe, there's no time to get caught up on these stupid things like gender. And I mean, they're not stupid. I'm saying they're stupid because we shouldn't be focusing on them.
No, we should just let we should just let people live their lives and express themselves the way they want, live the ways that is true to them, and worry about things that are actually important, which isn't us trying to stop other people from living their lives.
I agree.
Like, it's just mind your business. Like, if it has nothing to do with you, keep it that way.
Yeah.
Because you're not keeping it that way. You're literally putting yourself in the middle of other people's lives.
And a lot of the conservatives want so bad. They literally want LGBTQ people to be the enemy, you know?
That's why
like
they
that.
use the kids, though.
That is why they use the kids.
They aren't leaving us alone. They're going after our kids.
Right, because they have to make up some kind of shadow enemy to fight constantly. It's just the most ridiculous thing. And, you know, I feel like if one community's been really, really good about choosing when to stand up and fight and when to ignore all the fodder and BS, so far it has been the LGBTQ community, you know what I mean? So yeah, this whole thing is 3D printed.
Yeah, I saw that.
I didn't realize that when I was doing all my research on it. It's really cool. All of it is 3D printed, so that makes sense why we could see the print lines in it. But
I mean, 3D printing is helping us build all kinds of things right now.
It is. And I believe this tech is also going to be able to see, like, let's say there's a spaceship in the sky, right? And it has some sort of propulsion system or firing a gun or something that involves, like, an increase in light or it generates light. I believe that these are going to be able to see that too.
Oh, wow.
So I'm assuming it's also going to be able to pick up,
like, when Oumuamua gets closer or something?
Yeah.
Like, can it go out that far?
yeah.
To where Oumuamua is at right now?
I mean, light travels so much further than sound or radio waves. So, yeah. I believe so. How far does light?
So, will aliens looking at our planet be able to see all these little laser lights coming off of it?
No. I don't think it
Or is it
sends
infrared?
anything out. I think it just picks up on lights.
Yeah, but they're lasers.
Yeah, no, they're like a laser reader. So, yeah, it's wild stuff, but we apologize for having to interrupt your podcast like this. As you can see, I updated my hat a little bit.
It looks like a screwdriver?
Like a pugtail is what it looks like.
It does.
But this was unplanned, so I didn't have my notes in front of me. I just wanted to be able to update you guys on why all of a sudden a story's going to end. Check it out. This has all the information on LaserSETI.net. This is through the SETI Institute, which has been a key player in our skies for a long time, reading the radio waves and multiple partnerships with observatories. They also have the new laser system. So a lot of cool things coming out here, and it would be awesome to get reinvested in space, in our skies. Like,
I love that they're doing this. I love that we're looking outward like this.
Too.
And I hope that we will do a lot more.
I hope so too.
Let's get off the planet.
That would be super cool. I want to get off the planet.
Or find aliens.
Yeah.
That don't want to murder us all.
Right. All right. And back to your
regularly scheduled program.
Yes. That is everything that we have tonight.